Good afternoon. It is the first beautiful day we've had for a while, and it's gorgeous out, so it was a good day to get some work done. And here's what we've been doing the last couple days. We converted, you might recognize this as our old rabbit run, the Redneck Express 2.0, has been converted into a mobile tractor, just like that one over there. But this one's going to be used for weaned babies that we're going to use for feeding. So once they're old enough to be separated from mama, they're going to come in here. And then this half's not done yet, so just you can ignore that. But then here's Georgia, and her babies are in there. We'll see them in just a minute. She's out here munching on some broccoli stems donated by the local barbecue joint. And yeah, just the cage flooring, which so far they've been willing to dig through and eat what's down there. And then just a nice little box. We've got a open and close just cage door with some 2x4s to keep it simple and keep it light, so that way they're safe from anything trying to come in. It just latches over here, but also they're not able to get out, because Georgia, at least I've seen her clear things taller than this when she's scared. So yep, that's the outside, and then the inside is just an old piece of composite shelving, and it's got a hole that we might convert to some sort of mass watering system that we're going to try and figure out by the end of the day. But then down here is the box, and so you can see all the little kits running around. We transferred the fur from the nest, even though we're not entirely sure how badly they need it. They're pretty well furred. They seem to keep warm. They don't need to huddle so much anymore, but they do anyway. But now they have room to run and play and just hang out. Apparently he's getting a little exercise going up and down. But then Mom also has space out here where she can graze and eat things there.
Escape from her children.
Yeah, so she can get away. And the purple cage that she was in, this box was sitting in there, so it minimized the space that she had to run around. And the only way that she could really get away from the kits, whether it was she felt threatened or they were trying to suckle at a time that she didn't feel like it, her only way was to jump up on top of this box, which only had maybe 6 inches of clearance between it and the top of the cage. So she would sit up there all huddled and look terrified and creepy and just weird some of the time. So now she has more space to move about and stretch her legs and get away. So this is our latest addition. Also back here there's a compost bin of rabbit bedding and fur and such. But over here we put some wheels on the other tractor that we've been working on for the breeders. As you can see, the other half is still not done, but slowly we're getting there. The wheels work fine so far. The weight, it supports the weight of the thing as far as we can tell. But the problem is, since these bottom pieces are individual cuts of wood all the way across, we built this in sections. When you try and lift it up from that end, as if you're trying to do it with one person, which is the ultimate goal, then the front half bends up, but it gives a little in the middle, so the back half stays down on the ground, but the front half will pop up. So what we're going to try and do is get some 8-foot long 2x4s or some sections of rebar or something and run it along the whole bottom side all the way up and on the other side, so when you try and lift the front half, it brings the whole thing up in one smooth motion. So that's also on the docket. Not sure if we'll get that done today, but it's possible. We'll see. But just so you can see everybody, here's Appa, nice and preggers. She's about halfway through pregnancy because she paired with Fabio the day the kits were born, which was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
It was like 2.5.
Was it 2.5? Yeah, it was about 2.5 weeks ago, so she's getting there. And if you can't tell, she is digging up a storm in there, which is a good sign for pregnancy. She's trying to build a burrow, which is what the box up here is for, if you remember from my previous video walking you through. But she's been digging a lot every time we stop, so we're having to rotate a little more. There's no risk of her really getting out, but and it's not technically our lawn, so I don't want there to be potholes everywhere and have the landlord not happy about that. And Fabio, he's turning into quite a snuggle bug. He likes to hang out inside with us, and he behaves pretty well. He actually likes being handled, which the girls do not, but he also likes to just hang out over here and rub noses and give kisses to Appa, because he's Fabio. He's finally learning how to live up to his name. He's also marking stuff. with his chin, so I guess they smell him. But anyways, that's our update for today. We're trying to make best use of the good weather before it rains for the next couple days again. So, oh yeah, I almost left out Jane. She's just kind of chilling. She's doing pretty good so far for being a first-time mom with less than half of her original litter surviving. If you remember, the first 2 that were born survived, and the latter 3 were all stillborn. And they were born about a day apart, which is pretty unnormal. Yeah, that's not how it usually goes. Normally, rabbits will pop out however many they have in their litter, anywhere between 4 and I've heard of 10. And some of them do it in 15 minutes. So we were kind of concerned, but everything since has gone very well. And we cleaned out the nest box today because that fur was just full of urine and poop. And we were afraid for the babies. But here are Jane's 2. They're nice and fat and pudgy. They're not quite as active as George's, but they're fun. They just like to sit and hang out in the corners. But they'll move around too, eventually, once they most likely have a little more space. See, there they are. Yeah. They're all cute. They're like real rabbits now. So, anyway, now, that's our update.
It's really done now.
So, we're out of here. We'll see y'all a little bit later, and probably have some garden updates for you next, because that's next on the docket. So, stay tuned. More to follow.